Hello and welcome. These are horse racing selections for Thursday, the 1st of December. We're into December. I am Flat Cap Callum and I'm hoping you are all very, very well. Alright, coming up, we have got bets for the 1st of December. November is gone. History of the channel. Dismal day on Wednesday, ended a dismal month. So coming up today, we've got 15 quid on Thursday. So it's a 3/4 stake day. It's 4 bets, 2 small stake lucky 15. I've got a win bet, which I haven't done for a while, and I've got a combination double bet. First race, 12.47 Leicester. 12.47 Leicester is the first race. 4 bets in total. So before I do that, I'm going to go for a rundown of how we got on Wednesday, and then after the bets, I'm going to do a little bit more of a deep dive into kind of stats performance for last month and for the year for horse racing. So starting out with Wednesday, 25 on, 263 back, scraped 10% return, terrible profit and loss for the day. Just so frustrating after Tuesday. We've got that horse was rubbish. That horse drifted to 22-1 and ran a nice race and place. Don't understand why it drifted. Then they weren't great, and then Duke of Friends wasn't good either. So United Front on its own for the channel, 13-2 on its own. If you'd got a bog bookie, you'd have had 22s better, but no one was going to break the bank on that one. And then Dundalk's either great or not, and it was not. We had duds apart from Guild that placed, and then in this one they were all duds. So it's so frustrating. It's just the way Dundalk is. Sometimes you can get it and it looks brilliant. Other times it looks terrible. But it's worth doing. I stand by. Long term. It's worth going at Dundalk. And then, the last bet was the one that looked like it might turn it. So the 4.15, we managed to get second and third. Secret Potion, it drifted to 66, so I know some have got that. But then it went into 25s, which is what I said was probably about the right sort of price. Ran a great race, not far away from winning. Largo Bay was second. And then that horse was rubbish. Artisian, which was the horse of the day. Who knows what really happened in the fog, because nobody could actually see the start of the race. It looked like it had a bad start in terms of when it did come out of the fog, it was tailed off at the back. So I'm not quite sure what happened at the beginning. I don't think anyone is. But clearly it was really down the field, despite being backed in to 15-2. It's so annoying when you get horses like that and you can see you're on the absolute value side of it when you've got 33s and it's SP at 15-2 and then it runs a race like a donkey. And then Arabascato, badly ridden, I would say. It was hung out wide the whole way, so it had no chance in the straight. So really disappointing to basically have a 50-1 almost winner and not really get much back for it. So thus ends the day. What was said, it was 25 on, 263 back. So a bad start to the week. So we're down like 22 quid for the week. It ended the month down 109. I'm going to go and do some more stats after I've done today's bets, just to give a bit of context about how bad the month was. All right, so Thursday, what have I got? I'm starting off the 1st of December with a win bet, and it's this one. This doesn't. I do these occasionally. If you've been watching long enough, you'll see them pop up every now and again. And it looked right to me to have a little 3 quid on it. So if I do shorties, I don't put a large amount of stake on it, but I do it where I think it's viable. And I would say all 4 of these horses are worth taking more than even money. So that one's just snuck in. But more than even money. It's not worth doing doubles on it. So it's a £3 bet, 60p win trebles and 60p win fourfold. It's a really nice return if you get all 4 landed. If you get 3 out of 4, we're basically trebling your money. 2 winners looks good, but is not where we want to be. So we want to try and beat the odds here and get 3. So all at Leicester, 12.47 Apple Rock 13-8, 1.47 Georgia Saint 11-10, 2.47 Obey the Rules 7-4, and 3.17 Colonial Empire 13-8. Put it on with a bog bookie. I don't think it's going to make a huge amount of difference putting it on tonight. So if you are, on and trying to get the bets on early, I would make sure either put it on tonight with a bog bookie like 365 or Coral, or wait until the morning when more of them go live. So if you're a Sky Bet only, it's worth waiting till the morning so you get bog on those. If you've got a restricted account, and I know there's quite a few who have, then it won't make a difference when you put the bet on. So for the channel, those prices are taken because there's no bog on the channel, because I'm putting on the bets the night before. So that's the prices for the channel. I'm happy enough with those, and some of them might shorten up a little bit, and some might get a little bit bigger. It's really hard to say when the odds are that small. But yeah, I think it's worth doing. But when I come back on here tomorrow night with 4 losers, I'm going to look like an apps. Anyway, so that's bet 1. And then bet 2 is this. So I've done 2 small stake lucky 15s. And the key thing on this one is 365. So my race of the day, which I'll get to on the last bet, moreover, the 255 Wincanton. But 365 are 4 places, and none of the other major bookies are. That is brilliant. If you've got a 365 account, really, really have a look at the 255. That is the race of the day for 365 customers. It's a decent race anyway for anyone paying 3 places, but for 365 paying 4, that's really worth looking at. And all 3 of my selections on tonight are all slightly better odds on 365 than anywhere else as well in that race. So they're offering the best odds and the best place terms at the time of me doing this video. For the channel, clearly I'm on with Sky. But 12.55 Wincanton, Sister Sophie 28 to 1. I'm hoping that holds to 8 runners. Then the 102 Thurles Union Park. I've put that in both lucky 15s. It's not a big price. It's just probably slightly more solid of any of the other options. And I didn't have an 8th horse I wanted to put in the lucky, so I've put that in both. But it's not the best price. Then we've got 155 Wincanton, the Wise Traveller 7 to 1. Then finishing off 255 Wincanton, Fast Buck 40 to 1. 15 pence each way, lucky 15. Then bet 2, Sky slightly preferable over 365 for this one. 102 Thurles Union Parks, as said, 17 to 2. Then we're on the 255 Wincanton again. Amelia's Dance this time, 25 to 1. And we've got a couple at Chelmsford, so there's nothing later than 5:30 for the channel. So yeah, last race 5:30. I've got nothing late in the evening. There's no saver bet for tomorrow. So it's 4:30 Chelmsford, Miss Harmony 16s, and 5:30 Chelmsford, Painless Potter 18s. 15 pence each way, lucky 15. And then I've gone with the last one, a combination double. I wanted to get the race of the day. I really like the race, and my best option with it. So there's a couple of other races paying decent extra places, paying 5 places on Sky Bet, and I've not taken anything because although they're 5 places, the betting structure isn't actually very good. So although you've got an advantage with the 5 places in terms of you've got a much higher chance of placing, the actual value of the betting market isn't great. So I've left it as is. They might look better kind of half an hour before the off, but right now they're not great betting heats. So we've got 255 Wincanton, Amelia's Dance 25s, I think it's 33s or 40s on 365, Fast Buck 40s, but I think it's 50s on 365, and Toronto 125 to 1. I think that's worth chancing in this. That's 150 on 365. Going on to that's the best I could do in terms of I was happy with value to have a second race with it. The 4:30 Chelmsford, Miss Harmony 16s and Overstate at 9s. So it's 6 times 25p each way doubles. It's £3 you bet. 365 all day long for this bet because they are 4 places on both races. And then I would look at something like Coral over Sky, because with Coral you'll get best price guaranteed on both races, whereas Sky, because it's only standard terms, you will get bog in the morning, you won't tonight. Whereas Coral you'll get bog on both. So 365 best, then Coral. It's a fine bet if all you've got is Sky Bet, but I'm advising other bookies for this one, even though the channel's obviously on with Sky. So that is it. 6 times 25p each way doubles. So all combinations of doubles. All right. Any questions? Shove it in the comments, please. Okay, and then quick rundown of last month. So last month, single-handedly the worst month on the channel. We lost £109.86 for horses specifically, and it was a couple more quid from that overall because we were slightly down on the golf. So what I wanted to show is this. So this is basically horse racing for the channel. So obviously I do other sports, and overall the other sports are down about £100 for the year. So just to give you that element, this is just horse racing since I started the channel on the 10th of January. So as you can see, we've had 8 months making profit, 3 where we did not, and that's November sticks out like an absolute sore thumb because we've had 5 months out of the year where we've made more money than we've lost on that last month. And obviously there's a couple in there, well 3 actually in there that are particularly good. So it's not a great place to be, losing £109 in a month, clearly. But on the backdrop of the rest of the year, it's sort of, you know, done a little bit off our overall profit and loss. But overall, since the channel started, for horse racing bets, for every single horse racing bet on this channel, it is a profit of £1,719.40. And that is a 30.27% profit margin. And I'm not. I talk about kind of how the channel's doing. I'm not one. You know, some people, if they had this, they would be banging on about this at the front of every single video that they do, because these are stats that people would be envious of. Because trying to make 30% of standard market over the course of 11 months is a pretty tricky thing to do. And as much as last month was really bad, and I don't want to shy away from that fact, when you put on the backdrop of actually, even though we had a bad month, how the rest of the year is shaping up. And that's why I said on yesterday's video, we could lose £20 every day for the December and still be up £1,000. So I'm delighted of where the channel stats are, even though we had a really, really ropey month in November. So I'm hoping December, we just get by, break even, will be fine. But yeah, clearly it'd be nice to make some money. So when we get to, we're into December now, and you kind of got to pick and choose your moments in December, and see what's what. And then you get near to Christmas, and then you basically have a three-day break. So it's the 23rd, 24th, 25th. There's no racing in UK or Ireland, so there'll be no videos there. I've kind of got an adjusted Christmas schedule. I'll be like the TV Times, bringing out the adjusted schedule for Christmas when we get there. But then straight afterwards, for Boxing Day, for 4 days basically, 26th, 27th, 28th, 29th. And the significance there is there is a 4-day meeting at Leopardstown and a 4-day meeting at Limerick, and they normally between them have a couple of decent handicaps each. So there's some good racing, as well as things that people will be really familiar with, like the King George on Boxing Day. And you normally chuck in things like the Welsh Grand National somewhere along the line in there as well. I haven't checked when it is, because sometimes it can fall in there and sometimes it can end up in January. So yeah, we'll see on that one. And so yeah, you've got some really, really good racing between kind of Boxing Day and New Year, with the exception of Friday the 30th, which will be the really, really poor day. So you've got basically 4 days, 26, 27, 28, 29, really good. Then the 30th, it'll be a really, really poor day. And then 31st should be reasonable enough. That's always the Challow Hurdle meeting at Newbury, but this year it falls on a Saturday. And then New Year's Day is normally quite a good day, and then we're back into normal. So you've got this weird festive period where most days should be quite good. All right, that is me. Let's hope December starts in a different way to November finished, because yeah, November can do one, but as you can see from the stats I put up, it's so important to get context. And I completely understand people coming on here and making silly cracks about horses. You know, they could tip horses that finish 8th place too. Of course they can, because it's a long-term game is what I'm trying to play here. And I'm not trying to convince anybody with any dark arts. All I said from when I started my very, very first video was judge me on the long term, and that's all I'm asking you to do. That's the long term at the moment. That's what I'm asking you to judge me on. All right, that's me for today. I will see you tomorrow night, where it will be races for Friday, which means Dundalk again. So we'll be back having another crack. And will it be a great Dundalk or a bad Dundalk? We don't know. We'll see. All right, thanks very much. Have a lovely evening and day tomorrow, and I'll see you next night. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.